Just a robot.
So, Ponder just released her final video on stories in Pentagrin. And the best part about her video is I make a cameo in it, so you guys should definitely check it out. And because she did one last video about this whole thing, it inspired me to do one more video of my own. But what can I talk about? I already covered both Atari's and Pentagrin's video with Manga Common when this whole shebang started. I had a cameo in a video with PK Russell and, a whole bunch of other YouTubers. Granted, the video was 90% PK Russell, and he was just reading out messages between Atari, Stories, and Pentagrin in their private Discord group planning to take down Spoctor. I also did a video about how the whole Pokemon drama that I was involved in led to the creation of the Spoctor drama. So what can I talk about? Well, since this drama is over, at least as far as anyone can tell, I thought it would be interesting if I made a timeline of the Stories in Pentagrin drama. And I mean the entire thing. So first, let's go back. Back to not the beginning, but to before the beginning. Before YouTube even existed, there was a website called DeviantArt. It still exists today. It had a few good artists, but it was mostly full of, well, cringy Sonic OCs. I think I Hate Everything really summed up the website pretty well.
3% good stuff, 356% pony shit, 29.56% weird Japanese stuff, 100.36% furry stuff, 10.1% scalies, 306 trillion% Sonic the Hedgehog fan art, and the rest of the percentage is something weird that I've probably never heard of and someone will get mad at. I've already insulted everyone already, so I don't even give a shit anymore.
The website kind of just existed. Not too many people really paid attention to it. But one day, a man by the name of Blackbuster Critic, who later changed his name to Blackbuster Show, decided to talk about a few people on the website. This inspired other people to do rants on DeviantArt users, but there wasn't really a community, just a few loners here and there, until Sonic93 and Amy-chan showed up. They did several rants on Akai Dahlia and Yoshi-Wii 1. Because of them, a community formed around them, and they all gained up on Princess Elizabeth. This community went on to be known as the DeviantArt Ranting Community, and they were, pretty small. At least from what I can remember, no one in the community even had 10,000 subscribers. But all of that changed when they started talking about animation memes. Especially the ones made by a YouTuber named Birdie. Spoctor was growing fast ever since he did a video on Sav Draws, but he was growing really fast when he started talking about Birdie. And that is how he became pretty much the biggest person in the ranting community. But as the old saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And people trying to take you down because you're number one. And here is where everything began. The DeviantArt ranting community, which was slowly turning into the animation meme ranting community, was bigger than ever before. There were more than a dozen people in this community with channels that had over 10,000 subscribers. And one of these people was a YouTuber by the name of Stories. And I'm going to be completely honest here, guys, I actually really enjoyed her videos. I binge watched all of them, but there were two things that were very odd about her. One, she referred to herself as the leafiest here of the ranting community.
Hi, I'm Stories, and I am the leafiest here of the ranting community.
To this day, I have no idea why. She didn't string together insults like he did. She didn't play surf. She was a girl, he was a guy. The only thing that they have in common is both of their channels are dead, and they both left YouTube. But I really doubt she was planning on either of those things. Her other claim was a lot more outrageous. She claimed to be 8 years old. Because of this, Digby the Goat didn't want to do a collab with her. And I believe this is what led to the creation of the Anti-Digbert Collective. It was a Discord group designed to dig up dirt on Digby the Goat and take him down once and for all. I guess Digby made a good call not doing a video with Stories. This is around the time I came in. I made a video called Stories is Innate and Pentagrin is Stupid. Now, I didn't make the video straight away. I debated about working on it for a few weeks, mostly because I couldn't tell if the whole 8-year-old thing was an inside joke or not. But after I saw Pentagrin's video, I realized whether it was an inside joke or not, it doesn't matter. There are people who legitimately believe her. But even then, I was afraid to make the video. I was afraid that the entire DeviantArt ranting community would gang up on me. But I knew Ponder would have my back, so I went through with it. And who knows, maybe a bunch of people from the DeviantArt ranting community would have gained up on me. But the thing is, Spoctor left a comment on my video, simply saying thanks. Because of this, Stories and Pentagrin assumed that Spoctor was the one who asked me to make the video. It was a pretty big leap in logic considering I didn't even have a Discord at the time. And there were other people from the DeviantArt ranting community commenting on my video agreeing with me, so why Spoctor and not them? And you guys know what happened after this. Stories, Pentagrin, Atari, and a few other people all released videos on Spoctor in the same day. Manga Common contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do a collab with him on this whole situation. At the time, I really didn't know if Spoctor was innocent or not, and we had a pretty long debate with one another, but then Spoctor released a video saying that he was absolutely guilty. I don't blame him for what he did, but it did make things a lot worse for him. It seemed like it was all over for Spoctor. Stories and Pentagrin would have gotten away with what they did. But then, Ponder came in and saved the day. Almost immediately, everything turned around and Stories and Pentagrin left the internet. However, Atari stayed, and she apologized for what she did. However, to this day, Atari still gets a lot of hate for what she did, and that's unfortunate. She made a mistake, we all do. While I do agree that she deserves some backlash for what she did, at this point it's way more than enough. If you're still hating on Atari, please stop. She apologized and she didn't run away. That's very courageous in my eyes. Many people apologized to Spoctor. Some were a lot more stubborn than others, especially one specific blue pony. I'm not going to cover everything she did because Spoctor and Ponder already covered her video. But basically Fran, who's the blue pony, complained about Ponder's video not being serious enough, that she and others thought he was a sexual predator, therefore falsely accusing someone is okay somehow. And my favorite part was when she said he could just get off the internet. All of this was not really a big deal. After Ponder's first video about this whole thing, PK Russell released his video, and me and Manga Common released our video. Later, PK Russell, along with a whole bunch of other people, including me, discovered that there was a Discord chat that Stories, Pentagrin, and Atari were in. Atari kicked Stories and Pentagrin, and added us to the group, allowing PK Russell to make a really long video, showing all the chat logs between Atari, Stories, and Pentagrin planning this whole thing out. And after that, things started to die down. Ponder had 2 more videos planned, and that was pretty much it. But then Stories returned to YouTube. She only has 1 video on her channel, and it's only a couple seconds long, but she also had a Discord server, which quickly got raided. Stories also apologized to Spoctor, who didn't forgive her, but at least he got some closure. A few months later, Pentagrin also returned, and then quickly left. Spoctor covered her video in a live stream. You can go check it out, I'll link it down below. And maybe Ponder will cover her video. I'm really looking forward to it, and hey, Ponder, if you're watching this, I wouldn't mind doing another cameo for you. And that's everything that happened until now. But there is a question that's been on my mind for quite a while. And as far as I know, no one has asked this question. What if Stories and Pentagrin didn't do this? Now, I truly believe that if Pentagrin never existed, Stories would have still done this. But if Stories never existed, I don't think Pentagrin would have done this. Stories is the mastermind. She just used Atari and Pentagrin as pawns. So here is my question. What if Stories didn't do this? Well, she would probably have around 100,000 subscribers. Everything would have pretty much been better for everyone. The only downside is Ponder wouldn't have been as well respected as she is now, and she wouldn't have as many subscribers. And that same goes for me, Manga Common, PK Russell, and everybody else who defended Spoctor. But honestly, that's small potatoes. A few thousand subscribers is so much less than 2 channels disappearing, and oh yeah, Spoctor's life almost being completely ruined. I'm completely disgusted by this whole situation and I wish it never happened. Yeah, I would have a few thousand less subscribers. I don't care. I lost an entire channel once. Stories, what you did hurt you, Atari, Pentagrin, Spoctor, and so many other people. Never return. And I partly feel responsible for this whole thing. If I never made my video on stories in Pentagrin, would they have gone after Spoctor? I have no idea. Yes, there is evidence of stories saying that she was planning to go after Spoctor even before she created her channel. But how do we even know that's true? She has lied so many times before. For all I know, this is a cover because he didn't believe that she was 8. And that's a pretty petty reason to lose your channel and reputation over. Now, before we end this video off, I just want to say one more thing. I made the very first video saying that Stories wasn't 8. I've been seeing a few people push this video around, and it doesn't actually say she's not 8. Well, it technically does, but, well, I'll play a clip for you guys.
Stories. I know that you're not 8. I know that in fact you're minus 153 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't sound serious at all. Oh yeah, next week's video is going to be decided by my Patreon. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm excited for it.
My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot. Just the robot marches on.